Okay, questions for Coach Enos?
Dan, the process of giving Kyle the two reps yesterday and Cole today, what do you think of that deal and how it's going to work out in April?
Well, I think we just wanted to give them a day where they could kind of play themselves into a bit of a rhythm, you know. We've tried to, through the course of the fall camp, not run them in and out every play. I think that's really hard on a quarterback. We tried to give them 4 in a row, 3 in a row. But I think there's something also to be said for just having your whole day, get every rep with the twos, and you get all this, you know, the way we structure practice is that there'll be a lot of different critical areas that we need to work on. So there'll be third mediums, third longs, we'll be put in the red zone. So a lot of different situations. I think each and every cycle that we've gone through since I've been here. So I've been here 1 year. He's just really learned things very quickly at times. So they both have things they need to work on. They both know that, and I think it's been a really good competition. Not yet. That's what we're trying to do. That's the whole object of giving them the day. They've both been good. I mean, I think Coach B and I would feel a lot different if they were both bad. You know, that hasn't been the case. It's been a case of they've both had some really good plays and some really good days, and neither one of them has just you know, had a bad day. You know, there's been obviously bad plays, and you would expect that when you have the ball in your hand every play, you're going to have bad plays. They all do, but they both have responded from those situations and fought through some adversity. And every day they've come in. They both are guys that are really into the meetings. They're really into practice, and there's just a lot of positives with both of them.
Overall, what do you think of last Saturday's scrimmage out of Brady? What do you look for this Saturday?
I thought we were pretty good. You know, we've really challenged our team. The ones especially, we need to, I think, run the ball more consistently. I think that they did a tremendous job protecting the passer on Saturday, our ones, but we weren't real happy with how we ran the football, and we had a couple drop balls. I think we had 6 drop balls, and I think 2 of them were explosive plays, 3 of them were on third down, so game-changing type drops. And you know, our formula is, you know, can't have penalties, turnovers, sacks, and drops. And Saturday we had a couple penalties that we can get rid of, we can fix, and the drop passes we got to fix. But the good news was, knock on wood, we didn't turn the ball over. And they protected the quarterback well, so we did some of it pretty good. But every day is just being physical, run the football, being physical and run the football. And it's been very competitive. Coach B has put us in a lot of situations versus ones and ones versus our defense where it gets very competitive, it gets very spirited, and both sides are competing to try to win every rep. And that's the life in the SEC. You got to have that SEC strain and learn how to do that on a play-by-play basis. And, you know, we're not there yet, but we're certainly moving towards that.
Talking about that competition with the running backs, do you ideally see playing 3 guys or even trying to get all 4 of those guys work, or what would you like?
I think 4 is tough, but yeah, I could see all 3, you know, 3, David, Chase, and Devwall, certainly. I'm sure they all will play, and they'll all have a role. They all do things have done things very, very well. And when we get TJ Hammonds back, he'll be back there too a little bit, you know. So it's nice to have, you know, where we were from when Riley was injured to where we're at now. Obviously, we certainly would love to have Riley back, but with the addition of David and Chase now, I think we got a couple guys that can really help us. I think that could be a position of strength for us.
If Cole has a good day today, I assume Ty had a good day just based on what everybody said yesterday. Do you keep going with the back and forth?
You know, I don't know yet. I haven't. Coach B and I haven't gotten that far. You know, maybe he has. I'm sure he has. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure he has in his own head, has a plan. He kind of came to me with this idea a day or 2 ago, and I think it's a great idea. So I'm not sure. I think obviously, we don't want to put that kind of pressure on them where here you go, here's your day. Good luck, you know, if you don't have, they've done too many good things up to this point. So I'm sure as we move forward this week, maybe next week give them each another day as well, and then we'll see how we do the scrimmage reps. You know, on Saturday what we did is we ran, Austin Allen ran 44 plays with the ones, and then we took him out, and then we gave Ty and Cole both reps with the ones on Saturday in the scrimmage, and I'm sure we'll do something like this Saturday too. It's good to see him in those situations.
You gave Cole some advice, I think in the spring or something, not to worry about the competition and just to focus on yourself. You think that's going to help him with having a good day yesterday to not focus on that?
I've been playing quarterback. I started playing football in 5th grade, and my first day of practice, coach put me at quarterback, and I was a quarterback ever since, and I've been a quarterback coach. So when I say that to Cole, I say that to the entire group. I think the worst thing you can do when you're in a competition is watch what the other guys do, and you can't worry about what they do. You can only worry about what you do. You know, I tell them you don't control when you go in, but you do control what you do when you're in. And so in answer to your question, that you can't do that. Every play is different. If a guy hits a post for a touchdown, you can't force a post if it's not available. You have to take what they give you, and on that your particular play, that may not be part of the play that's given to you. It may be the guy out in the flat for a 7-yard gain, but that's still a plus in my book. And again, I think guys really put themselves in a bad situation when they try to match another player or try to, hey, he made a big play, I got to force a big play. When you try to force a big play, that's usually when you force a bad play. And, you know, I've seen Ty and Cole both do that already some this camp a little bit, where you go, what are you doing that for? And then when you go back and watch the tape, you go, oh, okay, so he did this and Austin did that. And so now everybody's trying to match each other. You know, you got to just go out there with a clean slate and just take what they give you. And if you don't hit any deep balls today and somebody hit one yesterday, that if that's not what you were supposed to do, then you just got to, you know, do what's given to you. And just like in a game, you got to take what they give you, and you got to let the offense work.
Do you feel that whoever gets the number 2 job, you know, you're going to get there?
Yeah, I do. I think both those guys right now. I think if we had to use either one of them, I think our entire team and the entire organization would be confident they would give us a good chance to win.
Michael Smith said Saturday that the fans might be worried about the receiving core and everything, but he really doesn't worry about it. He thinks they're going to be productive guys. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think they got a chance to be pretty good. I've seen steady improvement is the best thing I can say. From a week ago to today, they're much better. Are they perfect? No, but you know, we don't expect them to be. We've really put a lot on their plate as far as the installation goes and what we're asking them to do. And every day we've continued to press them. Coach B wants us to press them on the mental side of the game, press them on the physical side of the game. So we're trying to do that, but we've seen steady improvement. And a guy like Jonathan Nance getting better. Coylin Jackson, I mean, that guy, he gets better every time he goes out there. Jordan Jones continues to make plays. LaMichael Petway is getting better. Gary Cross. I mean, I could go up and down. Devion Warren yesterday had some wild plays as far as a couple of them he didn't get the ball, but just watching the routes on tape after either quarterbacks or even pointing them out. Like, look at him. So, again, there's a lot of talent there. Here's what I like about the group. They've been very focused. They've worked extremely hard, and they're trying to have an attention to detail. And that's very important.
How many could you play with that position?
You know, it just depends. I think as a coach, you want to have 9 ready, you know, 8 ready, 7 ready. I don't know if you will ever get to that, but you want to have at least 5 or 6 guys that are ready to go and you feel good about. I think what will happen is we continue to move through practice, guys are starting to establish themselves as, hey, I'm a guy that needs more touches, needs more reps, and then at the end of the day, it all kind of works itself out. And I always allude to the example of Drew Morgan, my first year here, in our first game against UTEP. He was really the 3rd receiver in our nickel sets, and that's what he was. He was the 4th guy, he was the 3rd guy, and then he had some opportunities in that game and took advantage of them. And then the next game, we had an injury, maybe 2 injuries, and then Drew took advantage of his opportunities. And the next thing you know, he's our featured wide receiver, which going into the season, I don't think I would have said that Drew Morgan would be our featured guy. So in answer to your question, you like to have as many ready as you can. With this situation, we know when Jared Cornelius is back, he's a guy that can be a feature guy. He can be a guy, he's been there, done that, made plays in big games and all that. The rest of them, they're going to have to continue to go out every day and earn it. And when we get into those game situations, the guys that take advantage of their opportunities will get more reps and get more balls thrown to them.
Make you nervous that Jared's missed so much time, spring and fall?
No, I think he's extremely intelligent. When I first got here, he picked up the offense about as quick as anybody, and he's like a coach. During the spring, he was out there with his scripts, and he coaches the guys, and he did a lot of installation this summer. Him and Austin together. I don't worry. I know this. He's a gamer. He's tough. He's competitive. I know when the lights come on and he's out there, he's going to give us everything he has, and I know he's going to know exactly what to do.
There's so many new faces at wide receiver this year. How's that trust factor between Austin and those guys? How's that?
It's getting a lot better. It's been really good the last, I'd say, 5 practices or so. They're getting on the same page. Obviously, we've had a lot of chance to practice and walk through and rep things, so I think everybody's getting very comfortable where they're supposed to be and what they're doing. But I would have to say I'm very pleased where we're at right now, especially compared to the spring. They did a lot of work this summer, but the stuff they're doing in camp right now, you can kind of see some chemistry between him and some of the guys. And again, the more reps we get, the more time we're out there together. I think that's an advantage for us having an extended camp this year. I got to be honest with you. I think it might be a real positive for that position.
Hey, Coach, your thoughts on the elevator incident yesterday with some of those players?
I'm glad I wasn't on it. That's my thoughts. That's my thought on it. Well, first off, like Dalton Hyatt was in there, so he came down to the meeting and he was just sweatful, and he looked like I said, man, why did you get on that elevator? He goes, I was one of the first ones on, and then I couldn't get off, but I'm glad it wasn't me, so I don't think I'll be taking the elevator anytime soon, especially with 15 of those guys on there.
Don't want to look too good.
No, he wasn't. He was, like I said, he was all full of sweat, like he had just worked out, and then he just, we had to take about 3 to 5 minutes of our meeting just to kind of get him calmed back down, because I think there were some tense moments on the elevator from what I hear.
Brad said that through his coaching career, he's had like 20 or 30 elevator incidents, but this was the first one that was on social media. How many of you?
You know what? They were all talking about him last night. This might be my first. This might be my first elevator experience. Maybe we might have had one some other place I was at, but I don't remember it too much. But it was interesting.
Red's known for real stress in the walk-on program. You got to start off in the line when you walk on. How important do you think the way Red stresses that? How big is that for you guys?
It's huge. You look at a lot of the storied programs around the country, and a lot of places have a great tradition of having walk-ons that have developed and become starters and become very good players. I mean, I compare it to it's very similar, to the NFL free agency, guys that go undrafted and then they just sign as a free agent, and next thing you know, they make the team. It happens all over the place. Recruiting and drafting is not an exact science. There's guys out there that we miss on, and there's guys out there that you can't measure what's in their heart and what's in their mind. And Coach Bielema, as a staff, he really stresses it to us to make sure that we talk about it all year long. We talk about it during the summer recruiting when we have recruits on campus. Coach B spends just as much time on that as we do a lot of the scholarship players we do, because I think, I know he understands the importance of it. But certainly, I think we've got some very good walk-ons in our program, and since I've been here, we've had several have been put on scholarship already. So you can really add to your football team that way.
From what we've seen on the tight end, it looks like Cantrell and O'Grady 1 and 2. Is that kind of where you are, and who's rising up, who's making plays behind?
Grayson Gunner's he's been getting some reps with the ones too. Jeremy Patton is back, and he got some reps with the ones yesterday, and he'll continue to. So that is still sorting itself out. Jack Krause will play. Will Gregg was actually was performing very well, and then he had a concussion, so he's missed several practices. So I think that's a fluid situation. It's going to continue to work itself out here over the next 2 weeks.
Dan, just a little bit off the wall. Brett brought his daughter in. What have you seen from him in the last few weeks?
Yeah, Brett's, he's interesting in the fact, ever since I've been here, he's a really big-hearted guy. You guys know that. He's very emotional. He's got a big heart. He really cares about people. One thing, when I became a father, it changed how I coached. It really did. It became more of, well, how would I feel if somebody said that to my son or daughter coaching them, And then you had to think sometimes like, maybe there's a different way to approach things, and just how you interact with them, how you treat them, what you say to them. And Coach B's always, since I've been here, he's very aware of the players, and he's always, very emotional. He cares about them deeply. This is not, there's some programs I think where it's all business. You play football, and if you can help us win, you're good. And if you can't, you're going to need to move on. Brett is not like that at all. He recruits these young men, and he gets to know their families, and he cares about them, and he wants them all to be successful. But that being said, now he's even said, since he's had a child, it's even changed his perspective even more, and I think he's even more in tune with the human side of it, the families and all that type of thing. And Brett cares deeply about people. He cares about our staff. He cares about our players. And again, I know, in my opinion, that can't be said enough, because again, there's different places where you go and work, and it's pretty simple. It's like, get your job done, and that's it. Brett likes to have our kids around. My son came, he was here last Sunday all day, and I know the other coaches bring their families around, and I know it'll make Coach B, it'll make him even stronger and better as a coach, and his feelings will be even more deep-rooted on what he believes in, and I think it's awesome for him and Jen, and I know they're going to be, great parents, because they're just great people, and they both get it.
Were you typically giving out scholarships to be on the receiving end for your daughter? What is that experience?
That was awesome too. It was. Again, you recruit people, and then when you're on another side of it, it opens your eyes. Like, for example, the AAU basketball circuit, you got to go play in all these showcases, the camps, they all want you to come to camp, just like we ask all these players to come to camp, and then you start going, well, it costs this, there, it's time and money to go all these places, and you kind of got to whittle it down, like who's really interested, who's not interested, and then you feel the pressure that she feels like when she goes to a tournament, and there's all these college coaches watching, just like when guys come to camp here, you know what I mean? So it kind of, for me, it made me stop to realize when we recruit guys, and I go watch somebody play, how their family may feel, just like when my daughter was getting watched by a college coach, I wanted her to do so well. So it was a great experience, and I also know why some kids want it to end early, too. My daughter didn't even get to the end of her the summer here before her 11th grade, and she thought she had a good fit and wanted to commit, and believe me and her mother were all on board that we'd have to go around and do this all again next summer too. So it was a great experience, and we're very proud of her.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.